Good evening, dear student. Welcome to my channel. Today I will be discussing Alfred Lord Tennyson poem Break, Break, Break in English. I have already discussed this poem in Hindi some time back. But for the student, those who don't know Hindi and they only understand English, so this video is for them. So, as I have already discussed earlier, that Alfred Tennyson is a Victorian poet. So, Alfred Tennyson is an English poet belonging to the Victorian era. He became the poet laureate after William Wordsworth in 1850. He is known for his vivid imagery and metric variety in poems. The poem Break, Break, Break is a short lyric written in a gloomy tone by Tennyson. He wrote this poem in the loving memory of his friend Arthur Henry Hallam, who died of brain hemorrhage in 1833. Hence, it is an elegy. I hope you all understand elegy. Elegy is a mourning poem written after the death of someone. He, she may be your relative friend or maybe some other great personality. So we see the poem begins with the repetition of the word break, as he say break, break, break. Perhaps he does this to create a line of three stressed syllables in a row known as epizixes, giving a rhythmic effect to the poem. I have also uploaded a video of epizixes earlier on my channel. So uh, as, the, as the stanza says, break, 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 on thy cold grey stone, O sea, and I would that my tongue could utter the thought that arise in me. So, in the first stanza, the poet is standing on the shore, watching the wave crashing the grey stone lying on the shore. He is lamenting the loss of his friend Arthur Henry Hallam. So, he's feeling gloomy and nostalgic. He is thinking of the old days which he has spent with his friend in his youth. He is addressing the grey stone and sea and wishing to speak what is in his heart. Like he says, and I would that my tongue could utter the, that thought that arise in me. He's missing all those days which he has spent with his friend. And this is also one of the place where Tennyson used to spend time with his friend. And now seeing all those seeing all those places and natural creature, he's missing his friend. So, in the second stanza, as the poet says, "Oh, well for the fisherman's boy, that he shouts with his sister at play. Oh, well for the sailor's lad, that he sing on in his boat on the bay." So, in the second stanza, he is watching the people around him and relating it with his own memories. Seeing the sight of the fisherman boy playing happily with his sister and the sailor lad singing happy song while sitting on his boat, he is missing all those days of his childhood which he has spent with his friend. And all these images are making him visualize his old days which he has spent with his friend and which cannot come back. As we know, the days which are gone, and if a person dies, will never come back. This is the rule of nature in which and unfortunately we have to follow it. So the third stanza says, "And the stately ships go on to their haven under the hill. But oh, for the touch of a vanished land and the sound of a voice that is still." So, in the third stanza, Tennyson seems to be philosophical in tone. As he watches the stately ship going to their next port, he compared this imagery with the life and its journey from birth to death. Like the ship sailing, life also keeps on moving from one destination to other. He says, and the stately ship go on to their heaven under the hill. By this, the poet means that whatever tragic incident happens in one's life, but it doesn't stop and keep on moving from one phase to other. Means no matter if our dear ones die and we mourn, but we cannot mourn all the time. We have to move on, and this is what is life. Life doesn't stop with um, anyone's death, but it goes on amidst all its misfortune. Means we cannot stop living if somebody dies. So in the fourth stanza, he says, again, he starts the stanza with the repetition break, break, break. This is to stress upon the word also and give it a rhythmic quality. At the same time, he is stressing the word break. Means he has taken a break from his life. It can be that perhaps it can be he has taken a break in his life. Perhaps his life has got a break because his friend has died. So he says, break, break, break at the foot of thy cracks, O sea, but the tender grace of a day that is dead will never come back to me. So the poet, in the last stanza, the poet is addressing the waves of the sea to break against the shore and make the stone lying at her feet. Now the day is ending and the evening is approaching, symbolizing that whatever begins has its end, and whatever has ended will never come back. He says, but the tender grace of a day that is dead will never come back to me. As the day has ended, so whatever memories he has spent with his friend has ended, and that will never come back. So this is a philosophical tone which poet employs to remember his friend. He believes the time which he has spent with his friend will never come back, and he have to live in the present. In the poem Break, 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 Tennyson is lamenting the loss of his close friend Arthur Henry Hallam. It is a short lyrical poem of stanza consisting of 4 lines each, interweaving the agony of loss and nostalgia. It contained the anguish resulting from the death of his close friend. From beginning to the end, the poet is emphasizing on the beautiful days he has spent with his friend and the agony he suffered from his death. This poem is also can is like a message to each and every individual that if a dear ones die, uh, and we are mourning, we can mourn, we can miss that person, but life goes on. Life doesn't stop, and we have to live the life as it is with all its misfortune. So thank you. I hope all the students watching this video must have understood. Thank you.